There we go. Alrighty. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the cafe, the courthouse, the combination courtroom cafe. We're actually back in the courtroom today. Today we're going to be starting the final trial segment of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Shit, what happened last time? Lots of things happened last time. Things are really starting to come together. Among other things, we found out that Dahlia Hawthorne is in fact Iris's twin sister, and that she's also Pearl's older sister that she doesn't even know about. Both Catriel. It's the final case of the third game, which means it's the final case of this trilogy. So we're gonna head back into court. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if we're gonna have the Canadian judge. I don't know. We'll have the regular judge. I don't know what's gonna happen. All I know is we're diving right in. And I know for a fact there are 3 parts to this trial. But from what I remember, I don't... Yes, Catriel. There's another judge and he's very Canadian. That's not even me just saying stuff, like the way they write his mannerisms and the things he talks about. Like instead of saying about, he says aboot. A-B-O-O-T. Like with a Canadian accent. Well, yes, if you haven't been here for the past Phoenix Wright streams, yes. But you can always catch up on them on my YouTube. That being said, like I said, we are heading into the finale. So, if you don't want any spoilery type things, now would be the time to get out of here so you don't see them. Like I said, we're basically starting the finale of this. We're gonna be... It's the beginning of the end, as they say. So if you want to catch up, or if you don't want it to be spoiled, if you haven't already caught up, go away. Get out of here. I know a Canadian musician in VR chat. He's very nice and we chat a lot. That's nice. Alrighty. February 10th, 9:39 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1.
Good morning! Oh, are you by yourself?
Morning, Pearls. Poor Phoenix, he probably is all by himself. We still don't know where the hell Maya is. We're still under the assumption that she's, like, locked up in the cavern that's got 5 trick locks on it that Iris is working to help unlock, as far as we know. So, we don't know where she's at.
Mr. Nick, please tell me, what's going to happen to Mystic Maya?
I'm sorry, we don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple.
Oh, I see. So, is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick locks in the training hall?
No, she's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple. Yeah, that's true. She's required to be here in court.
Then, how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby?
I have to admit, it's kinda strange. You're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. I should have known it would be you. Edgeworth. What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? Prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession. Or so I heard. Franziska von Karma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Franziska isn't going to be the prosecutor today. What? Then who is? Who else would it be but Godot? Godot? Franziska is engaged in some important work at the Sacred Cavern.
The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's...
Exactly. She has been out there all night, trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon. Yeah. Thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touché. I can already see it in your eyes. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. It's strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you've passed your cold on to someone else, literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands, partner. What are you, fucking gay? Godot, the game programming engine, I make my projects there. That's neat, but no. This is a guy. This is one cool guy. Thanks. I still don't have answers for most of the riddles plaguing this case. The circumstances around the murder of Miss Elise Donim. No, I mean, Miss Misty Fey. The impossible flight Larry claims to have seen. And what that woman is really after. Is he the coffee slamming guy? Yes, he is. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. February 10th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 7. Hey, that's our regular judge. Hey, buddy, what are you doing here? Where's the Canadian judge? Not that I'm not happy to see you. I'm just wondering what this is all about.
Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Yeah, Phoenix, you look real fighting ready. Your Honor? What are you?
Who, me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted. Therefore, I'll be standing in for him.
I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot. Not really. Why is our judge not Canadian? Or at least as Canadian. You know what? I'm not even gonna question it. Maybe they were born in Canada. And they just decided to, like, he just decided to settle in down here. I don't know. But you know what? Good for them. We support people supporting their siblings. Yes, Catrell, you have missed a lot.
My poor brother, he looked a bit pale, not to mention sad that he couldn't be here.
Hello, Shiji. I hope you're doing well tonight. Thank you for stopping in. Whoop.
It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment. Well said, Mr. Godot.
Downloading Cyberpunk on my Legion Go. Ooh. I hope it runs well and I hope you have fun with it. Bunny doesn't have Twitch and says hi. Hello.
I understood exactly what you said, at least up until the end, anyway. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement. Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug. So then you mean... forget it. What do you mean? During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit her role in the crime. But today she's had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make. Confession? The defendant?
Iris. Why didn't she discuss this with me first?
Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession.
Hey, girl.
Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple.
Witness, is there something that you want to confess to?
God, this voice flipping is gonna be insane.
Yes, but first I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore.
It's alright. What is it?
Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident.
Or are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Miss Elise Donim?
No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I desecrated it.
What? Order in the court! Order! Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder?
Yes, that's correct.
What? 3 minutes in court and I'm already covered in a cold sweat. Whoop.
Ha! Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that in this case, it's to murder.
Boy, shut up. Yeah, drink your coffee.
Isn't that right, Mr. Trite?
Shut up.
Ugh, that could go.
So this is the confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris's testimony was all a lie. Iris's testimony crumpled up and shoved into a pocket.
Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I've got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions?
Iris was covering for someone? Now I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle. Or a life jacket.
I've been at Hazakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hazakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Kurain tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family.
I'm sorry, but main family?
Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself, if need be, to protect her. The daughter of the master of the Kurain channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fey.
Huh?
Wake up and smell the coffee, Trite.
She's naming Maya?
Order in the court! So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer?
That's what she's saying, but I don't believe that for a goddamn second. Especially because it's Maya. Like, not only was she there to do the training and everything, why would she kill anybody? And again, it's Maya. That means she's getting framed. Maya doesn't do anything but get framed.
I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her.
That's ridiculous. Maya could never do such a...
The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime?
Yes, Your Honor.
I thought I was prepared for the unexpected, but I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. I was prepared for trouble, but not for this.
I went to the inner temple that night, and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it.
So it was in self-defense?
Yes, Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya.
You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Not bad. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal. Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that the person who did go was that woman. Iris even admitted it. That woman being Dahlia Hawthorne, aka her twin sister, who is now currently dead.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Okay. So something that's bothering me here. So we as Phoenix and Gumshoe are the only ones that know that Elise's staff is actually got a sword in it. So, as far as everybody else is concerned, it's just the staff. So, like, if it's just the staff, how is she going in with a fatal strike? That's my question. I mean, we know, but, like, she moved in to deliver a fatal strike?
Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon.
Wait a minute. What was this weapon? Okay, I hadn't even considered that.
It was some kind of dagger.
A dagger, huh? And Elise Stoneham tried to stab her with this weapon. To kill Miss Faye.
Yes, exactly.
Huh. You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce. Bro, how... Huh? How do you do that? Do you have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy? Do I have a problem with it? Yes. Because why would she also have a hidden dagger if her staff was already a sword? Why would she deliberately throw away the staff that has a sword in it just for a fucking... No, I'm not buying it. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony.
You do? But this witness is your own client.
Yes, well, nevertheless. That's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that.
Listen, Gramps, I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Okay, now let's continue. She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside of her robe. I don't think so. Like, 'cause... No. Why would she deliberately throw away a hidden sword for a dagger that doesn't have the same amount of reach or anything like that? Anyway, Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events.
Huh?
Miss Donham throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me.
But all you can do with a staff is hit someone.
Not in this case. Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword.
Ah!
If Elise Donham really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say? Whoop. Bro, that's already your third or fourth cup of coffee. That was an impressive bit of investigating, trite. I never would have thought there was a sword hidden in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that's why she chose a dagger over her blade. Well... Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with her testimony. But there is something strange about this whole testimony.
Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point.
Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back its argument.
Mr. Wright!
I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Because Miss Elise Donham would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. Is this the part where we drop the bomb on the court and tell everybody that Elise was actually Maya's mom? I think that's it, because I'm not coming up with anything else. Right? Mic drop. Elise Donham would never have attacked Maya Fey.
How can you be so sure?
Because the victim's real name was not Elise Donham. Her real name was Misty Fey. And with that, we've hit the ad break. We will be right back. I really wish I'd waited like a split second longer for that to play out. Oh my god. We're back! Nova is way more excited than me. I've lost all the context and I'm still hooked. Damn right I'm excited! I am too. So let's get right back to it. Her real name was Misty Fey.
Fey?
No, not Mystic Misty Fey.
Well, who else fucking Misty Fey could it be? Girl, get it together. Anyway.
Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to...
Misty Fey is the master of the Karain channeling technique. She is also the mother of Maya Fey.
Are you serious?
Is it really true? Mr. Wright? Was Elise Donham actually the great Mystic Misty?
Yep. There's no doubt about it. Looks like Iris had no idea.
I can hardly believe it.
The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one she hadn't seen in 17 years? Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing. Yeah, Godot, tell me why. Ugh.
Order in the court. On first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the people battling to the death were mother and daughter. Despite the facts being believable when taken on their own, when taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe.
Listen, there's nothing in this world that is impossible. Except for one little thing.
Yes, what is this one little impossible thing?
Ha! You still don't get it. You think maybe my beans are under-roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. Bro, what do you mean? Could you get to your point? I heard this witness's confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee.
You're going to ruin your health, my friend.
Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves investigating sent to the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little beauty.
Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing?
Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else?
Now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it.
You don't have to look that closely, dude. It's right there. Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? Huh? The pine tree? The dagger was stuck in the backside of the pine tree. When the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of the pine tree.
Which means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct?
Huh. Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. Didn't you say it was your 8th just a minute ago? I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice.
In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I order that a blood test be performed on it immediately.
This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right. No! Stop dating inanimate objects, you weirdo.
Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab immediately.
Dagger, found behind a tree in the inner temple garden. The blood is being analyzed now.
Now then. The testimony we've just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible.
Whoop. Cute girls never lie. Ever. I don't know, buddy. That, Right. I don't believe you.
In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court.
About what, Your Honor?
About the incident you saw, the battle between the two women.
Yes, Your Honor.
The battle.
Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff. But then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive with her back to the stone lantern.
Ugh, I hate it when it does that.
That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed.
May I have some Irish coffee, please? That depends on whether you want the full Irish experience and what the drinking age where you are is. This is very important. Very important for multiple reasons.
That was a very heartbreaking story.
Drinking age here is 18, and yes, I want some. Alright. Just making sure. Alrighty.
I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Mystic Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore.
That seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
Alright, so I need to double check something here. Stumbled. Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Let me check something. Where is it? There it is. Autopsy report. Time, 10 to 11 p.m. Cost, loss of blood from a stab in the back. Yeah, excuse me? Something about you just isn't right today, Iris.
Huh?
Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions.
What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony?
According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct?
Yes, that's right.
But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right?
Yes, I think so.
But, according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back.
Ah!
This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony.
Ah!
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
Ha! It's simple. People are like books. We've all got a front and a back. You get my drift?
Is that all you have to say?
I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind. Could you please knock it off with the cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away a useful staff, the people fighting being mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach.
There certainly are some inconsistencies.
Well, Iris, how about it?
Well, it's just...
You ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing.
What do you mean?
There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. But to pick out each one requires total concentration and use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said? Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself. The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. A human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light. Light? By the way, did you know? Hazakura has a rule that on nights when an acolyte is at the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit.
I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for.
Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly? Normally, yes, Your Honor, but according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern.
Impossible?
It hadn't been used in a long time, and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. There could have been a faint light coming from the training hall, but that's all. Most enlightening. Yes, that illuminating fact has chased away all the contradictions. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Trite?
No!
Order, order, order! Here, Your Honor, let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it will rekindle the flame of truth in your mind.
Stone lantern, a lantern from the inner temple garden, was not lit on the night of the crime. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face?
What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot? This lantern. There's something written on it. Why, it's written in blood.
Oh boy. So the judge didn't know about that yet.
Written in blood? It says... It says Maya upside down. What the...
Oh, yes. That's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing on that stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body.
Objection?
It certainly looks that way.
Objection!
Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about? What do you mean, what are you all talking about?
We're talking about the message written in blood.
Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle.
Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all? Yeah, because this kind of thing happened before. It happened in the restaurant case where Maggie's apron had ketchup all over it and he couldn't see that. Is it just like a specific color thing? Like his visor's red and stuff, so is that messing it up? Can he not see like red on white or something? Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday.
My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything.
So that's what he meant by that.
In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot? Okay then, let's move on. Godot is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose. I believe it has now been established that Miss Donham was killed by Maya Fey.
That's just wrong.
Now it's time to turn our attention to you.
Yes, sir.
After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. The last time I saw that, it was in goddamn Danganronpa.
Yeah. But every single time we've seen it here in Ace Attorney, it's a false lead. Like, nobody has ever actually written their killer's name in blood or anything like that. In blood, on the ground, anything. Anytime somebody's name is written at a crime scene, it's a false lead. And we have to shut it down. Sister Iris's cover-up. Also, isn't there an alibi for Maya or anything? She was over on the Inner Temple side getting ready to do her training thing. And it was supposed to start at 10 p.m. But given how messed up everything else has been, we don't know.
After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Karain tradition. So I removed the body from the Inner Temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and... I used the Shichishito to alter the way the wound looked.
So you moved the body?
Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fae clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Donham was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible sin.
A terrible trick of fate.
I believe you're looking for a twist of fate, Your Honor.
I intended to return to the Inner Temple after taking care of the body. But...
You were spotted by the head nun, correct?
Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back.
Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Sister Iris's cover-up. So, something's bothering me. I used the snowmobile to carry it back. We had a whole fucking thing with the snowmobile before. Where is it? Tracks photo, taken that night from Main Gate to Dusky Bridge. So we only have tracks going back to the main gate from the bridge. We only have a one-way trip. Or am I reading that backwards? Let's just see what she says. The snowmobile? I knew it. I knew that would show up sooner or later.
Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge.
This is the part that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more details? About the snowmobile, about the tracks. Yeah, because the tracks was what was the big problem before. If you really did move her body by snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right?
Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks.
This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride?
Yes, I think they are.
But I can only see one set of tracks here.
I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hazakura Temple.
I see. Snow was still falling, huh?
And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped.
Wait. Hold on. Where is it? No, not that. Not that. Weather data. 7 to 10:50. Lightning struck the bridge, and the fire started at 10:45. I feel like there's something there, because the math just isn't adding up. Because it stopped snowing after the lightning struck. Oh, glug, 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 glug. Thank you for the slightly more expensive hydrate. Hehe.
That's why there are such fresh-looking tracks.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony?
It's important, because we need to use it to point out the time contradiction. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I'd like the statement Iris just made added to the testimony.
But does it have something to do with the case?
All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. Ha! This should be fun. Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we?
Yes, sir. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped.
No. Because you're saying that you took the body across the bridge. But the bridge was on fire after it had stopped snowing.
Objection!
Oops. Did I do it wrong? Your Honor, that statement contradicts this evidence.
It does. I don't see anything contradictory.
Huh? Really?
Objection denied. Try to think before you make accusations, Mr. Wright.
Oops. Whoops, that didn't go so well. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Oh, okay. I was ahead of myself there.
Objection!
There we go. We had to point out why she couldn't have carried it across the bridge. That was my bad. Drink tea. It's tasty and good for you. It is. I never actually finished my tea advent calendar that I said I was going to. I wanted to get it done in the month leading up to my birthday, and I only made it like 15 days out of 24. So, yeah. Anyway. Where am I? There I am. You claimed the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But I'm sorry, Iris. That just isn't possible.
What?
This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time.
Why do you say that?
Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning. Jesus Christ. Hang on. Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire.
What did you say? The bridge. It was on fire?
You don't mean...
Oh! Hello, Raiders! Reeve-Rissy Raid. Meow in bio. Oh, goodness. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the cafe, the courthouse, the combination courthouse cafe. Welcome in, Raiders. I am... Hello, Riri. Thank you very much for the follow. We do have anonymous follows here, so you can feel free to follow and kick back, relax without getting called out or anything, if you don't want that. Thank you again for that. What was I doing? Oh yes, my intro. Hi. Oh goodness. I am Barista. I am a sort of a variety streamer. I do Hang on, it's really quiet in here and I don't like just talking to myself. There we go. I feel better now. I'm something of a variety streamer. I stream generally Monday through Tuesday. Yes, Monday through Tuesday, but also Wednesday and Thursday. Mondays and Thursdays are generally reserved for the Ace Attorney series. Right now we are on the final trial segment, or one of the final trial segments, for the final case of the third game, Trials and Tribulations. So that's where we're at right now. And as much as I appreciate you stopping by, if you do not want to be spoiled on any events of this game, Trials and Tribulations, as well as some things that come in the previous games, as much as I'd love having you here, if you do not want to be spoiled, don't stay here. That's about the only way I can put it. Cause like we're real deep into it. We're almost at the end of it. We're definitely not gonna finish today, but we're getting there. So that's Mondays and Thursdays, and Tuesday, Wednesdays are variety days that I call Toss-Up Tuesday and What the H Wednesday. Sometimes matcha time. Glug, 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 glug. Sometimes I have a friend or two along for Toss-Up Tuesdays. It's all really tossed up in the air. And then What the H sort of is me going through my Steam library and playing things that I haven't played yet. Or it's just me doing whatever I want, honestly. But anyway, hello, everybody. What were you all up to tonight? Well, I know what you were up to, but please feel free to pop off about it. Please do share. And to answer your earlier question, Catriel, affogato is A-F-F-O-G-A-T-O. You were close. Just replace the R with another F. And affogato is espresso poured over ice cream. It's very creamy and very delicious. Zoe says, may I get a latte with 3 sugars, hold the milk and the coffee? So you just want a cup of sugar? You could have just asked for that. Let's see. Hello, da, 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 da. Also, thank you for doing the shout out for Riri Desk. I do appreciate it. I fell in lava. How is Phoenix Wright? Oh no. Yeah, you were playing Peak with Desk and a few other people, right? Don't worry, that if it's not me falling into lava, it's me falling into something else that ends up killing me. So, you're in good company here with that. But yeah, like I said, Phoenix is doing as good as he can. We're still trying to get stuff sorted out with this case. Like I said, we're near the end of it. This final trial part has 3 segments. We're still in the middle of part 1. And I don't know if I'm gonna do part 2 tonight as well, or if I'm gonna save that and do like a big finale kind of thing on Monday. I'm kind of just waiting to see where we get to at this point. Excuse me, you had me at ice cream, Miss Barista. Yeah. You know, affogatos are really good. Me, I'm a basic bitch. I like it with just vanilla ice cream, but doing it with other ice creams also gives it a whole new depth of flavor. Like I don't know if it would be called a mocha affogato if you did it with chocolate. Sounds tasty as hell, though. May I get a cup of coffee, but replace the coffee with Monster Energy? That depends. What flavor? Or what color is the can that you want? Because there are so many fucking colors and flavors these days. I once brewed a coffee through Red Bull and sour candy. That sounds horrible. Not just in flavor, but that just sounds bad for your body. I had tachycardia for a few hours. Yeah! Yeah! I'm having a heart attack just reading it out. I'm not Just to be clear, I'm not actually having a medical emergency. But I am having palpitations just reading about it. There's a coffee shop that's on the water in the next town over. I might just stop in to see if they have it. It kind of depends. A lot of places don't really have it. At least not any of the places near me. Because it probably has to do with you have to have a consistent supply of ice cream and a place to store it and things like that. But one of the places in a town near me had a little affogato event where they partnered with a regional ice cream brand place. And they were doing that, and that was how I found out about it. And now I just do it on my own. Because it's cheaper. I get a half gallon of ice cream for the same price as one thing of the affogato at that event. Oh no, wait, I haven't had any sugar today. Give me a mango loco. Okay, Zoe, you got it. But yes, Riri, if you haven't already, if you got a raid and run, go and take care of yourself. Like I said, if you haven't already, go get something to eat, go get something to drink, get some rest, take your meds, whatever you gotta do. I appreciate you bringing everybody by. Not quite, Nova. AFFOGATO. Yeah, close, but not quite. Yes, like that, Patriel. My fucking dysgraphia getting me fucked up. For what it's worth, I knew what you meant. The :3 is not obligatory, Catriel. If you want to do it, fine, but you don't have to. It's spelled HOTTOGO. I do not think I could make that into the actual... I do not think I could make the actual spelling of affogato into hot to go. I think there's too many letters. Anyway, on that note, we're gonna... Now that we've settled down a little bit after all the excitement, we're gonna keep going. So we just found out, or Iris, our witness/defendant, just found out that the bridge was on fire. Which she probably should have known before this, but somehow didn't. So that's a little suspicious. Give me just 1 second, folks. Apologies for that. Mr. Barista just popped in for a quick second. Just had to discuss something with him real quick. All is well, all is well. But yeah, lightning struck the bridge. The bridge caught on fire and completely burned down. Somehow she didn't know about it. This is strange.
You mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down.
What? But it can't be.
It looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you just try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney.
No!
Order, order, order!
The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body.
Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man.
Me? How dare you?
Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right?
Yes, of course, but...
Whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Donim was discovered in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. And second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Iris desecrating Elise Donim's body. Makes a good point, on both accounts. Oh. Hello, Raiders! Welcome in! I apologize, you are raiding him right before an ad break. Hello! Hi, quick intro. I'm Barista, variety VTuber extraordinaire. Or at least ordinaire on a good day, on a bad day. Right now we are playing Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Hello, Hadai. No, ads! It's only a minute and a half. It's not a full 3 minutes. Because I like those more, I like closer together breaks. But yeah, we will be doing that. Please feel free to pop off about what you were doing in the chat. What were you up to? How are you doing? Let's do this. Oh boy. Okay. Death Stranding. Ooh, the first one or the second one? It's been so fun. Oh, good. That's always good. First one. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're having fun with it. I do appreciate you bringing the raid. If you do have to raid and run, by all means, feel free to go do some post-stream care. Get something to eat, get something to drink, go to the bathroom, take your meds, go to bed, whatever you gotta do. Or if you want to just stick around, by all means, feel free to do so. I will give you the caveat that we are playing the finale case of the third Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney game, so if you are interested in playing this at some point, or are interested in finding somebody else to play through it and get all the context, as much as I love having you here, I would recommend you leave for the sake of avoiding spoilers. Like I said, we're at the finale. Like, this is the first part of it. We're gonna finish it on Monday. We're gonna finish it on Monday. Definitely not today, because there's 3 parts to this trial session, and this is only part 1 itself. So how goes the case? Very weird, desk. Pretty late here, so I'm gonna head out. Have a good stream, though. Love me some Ace Attorney. I watch RT game, play it all the time, lol. Hell yeah. But yes, please do go get some rest and take care of yourself. Thank you for bringing everybody by. Hopefully everybody enjoys their visit and time here at the cafe. Weird how? Well, so our defendant, our client, doesn't seem to know all the things that she should know, and it's very weird. Like about how lightning struck the bridge and the bridge was on fire and it was out. She knew that, but why doesn't she seem to know it now? Like a lot of things that have previously been established that she was here for as we went over it in court, she doesn't seem to know. So it's like, something's weird here, and I'm gonna figure out what it is. Probably. We're gonna get there. Anyway, I think the raid probably, either the raid or somebody, one of my mods must have, like, paused the ad, so we've got a couple minutes before the ad actually hits. Yay! Alright. He makes a good point on both accounts.
That's right.
I'm not lying! Raids autopause ads if you get a few in a short time. Okay, I kind of thought that's what it was, but the countdown was going, and it disappeared, like, right at the same time the ad, like, the timer was gonna go away anyway. So, yeah.
What are you claiming this time?
I wasn't myself at all that night. So my memory is still somewhat hazy.
Girl, what the fuck? You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy?
Objection!
It is only human to err. If you're so perfect trite, maybe you can explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick. Well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across that burnt-out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth.
Looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation.
Whoop. See what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth.
Alright then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more.
About what, Your Honor?
You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Will this be her final testimony?
This will be my testimony. Yeah. Yeah.
Moving the body.
Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So, I must have just gotten confused, I guess.
Sit there and stew in your confusion while we hit this ad break. We'll be right back.
I wanna be Sledgehammer.
We're back! At least we should be. If we're not, well, that's unfortunate for everybody involved. Alrighty. She says she must have just gotten confused. Girl, how? I do not believe this for a moment.
Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there is a way to cross a burning bridge?
So it was just a misunderstanding, I see.
You know, not after seeing the Canadian judge and this judge, who are brothers, they both do have a tendency to go, a lot. So they do share that, at least. Along with their glorious playoff beards. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. Oh. Look at that. One of the suspension cables looks like it broke.
It certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall.
Interesting.
Clearly, it would be impossible to carry a corpse across a bridge in this condition.
Dusky Bridge photo added to the court record. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth. Maya will be accused of murder. Right? I'm only gonna say it one more time. It is only human to err, and only humans can spot the errors of our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes.
All right, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination.
Okay. Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move a body. I must have just gotten confused. The snow still falling, or had it stopped, doesn't matter. Are you saying there is a way to cross a burning bridge? Alright, hear me out. Not in a, I'm gonna mess with something way. Hear me out as in, this is gonna be wild. Or seem... I have a feeling we have to show Larry's sketch. Because this is something I've harped on before. Me personally, me barista, I maintain that the way we're looking at this is upside down. Because in the picture that we keep getting shown when Larry opens is like laying and in the shack and looking out at what's happening, he's on his back. So I feel like this whole thing is upside down. And that... Hang on. Maybe now we can... Where is it? Where is it? Oh, it must be this last one. Was I right? I was saying that, like, one of the suspension wires must have gotten used and we could see it on the map. But now we have an actual photo that verifies it. Where is it? Yeah, the map. Yeah, I was always saying that this suspension cable, it broke off. And this blue dot on the map is where the crystal sphere from the staff was found. And if it had gone from this corner down here by the inner temple across diagonally like that, it would have landed there. And Larry would have seen it from right here. Oh my god, it's all coming together. So yeah.
Objection!
A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility.
What?
You and me both, Judge.
Ha! You're saying it's possible? Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air.
I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen.
Preposterous! Who is it? Who is this witness?
Can't chicken out here. Gotta keep on the attack and go, go, go. Miss Elise Donim's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice, Maurice Donim.
The only time Phoenix is ever gonna compliment Larry. Brilliant.
Highly gifted.
Apprentice?
Remember what he said in his testimony. That night, he was at the Mountain Shack Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. This is what I'm talking about! He's on his back, so he's looking at it upside down! And he kept saying that that was exactly what he saw. He just never... Oh my god! I think you've all seen this sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night.
Are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it?
No, that's not for another few days.
Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument?
Ouch. Uh-oh. The judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket.
Ha! Well, Trite, there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it.
Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down.
Literally, that's what I've been saying!
If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with this sketch?
Upside down? Why did Godot say that?
Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show?
I don't think old Whiskerface is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. The sketch drawn by Laurie Stoneham is... No, it's exactly what he saw. From the way he was, that was what he saw. Oh my god, I love being right, especially when it's just so out of pocket like this. Holy shit! It's a complete contradiction! No, it's exactly what happened. Of course the victim was flying through the air. You can see it right there in the sketch. Whoosh!
You know, you're starting to remind me of yesterday's witness.
What? That was the last thing I wanted to hear.
Do you have any evidence that the victim flew through the air?
Just so you know, we haven't discovered a giant human catapult at the inner temple yet.
I wish they had. No, don't worry, Phoenix. I got it. I got this.
Even if you're a lousy lawyer, you're at least you're 1 cup's worth of entertainment. I think we should skip the penalty this time.
There must be some way. I just know it. Excuse me. There must be a way to use Larry's sketch to show the truth of what happened. Hiccups, because it's not a barista stream without me getting the hiccups at some point or other.
Alright then, the witness will now return to her testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Other than walking over... Okay, so we're back to her testimony. How am I supposed to do it? Because we can't just... I don't think we can use the map. Or did I actually do it wrong? Am I supposed to say it's a contradiction? Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do.
Objection!
Yes, because it's a contradiction.
I can't believe we're looking at this again.
I admit that I didn't really understand it before, but I get it now. That's why I believe this sketch shows the truth.
Very well. Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show?
I don't think he's gonna forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. Sketch drawn by Laurie Stoneham is a complete contradiction. Helps if I actually click it. Something is obviously funny about this sketch. Oh, I think I know what I did. Like, to me, because I've been harping on it so much, it's exactly what happened from the way he was, but we have to explain that that is the case. So it's a contradiction because it's upside down. I think that's it.
I'm no art critic, but even I can see that.
Oh no, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Laurie Stoneham stated it over and over, that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we're to believe his testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it.
It contradicts reality?
Ha! This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger-pointing thing again.
Don't you worry about my fingers.
Okay, try. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know it?
So my theory, that seems to be more accurate with every minute that goes by, is that it was the suspension wire. Maybe I have to point at one of those? It's this wire connected to the bridge.
The wire?
Ha! Is that the thing that contradicts reality?
It is indeed.
Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality.
The photo! The photo that you literally just gave me. That shows one of the wires is broken. Like I said.
That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct?
Yes. Now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge,
Jumping Jehoshaphat!
the wires are below the guard wires. You know what? Yeah. That was also probably the easier way to explain it. I got so excited about getting to the end point that I was missing steps on how to get there.
What? Order, order, order! This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong?
Hello, BMO. How you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well.
Or perhaps he just drew it wrong.
Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong.
Nuh-uh. With someone like Laurice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But then that begs the question. Why did he make a mistake? What was the reason?
Are you saying you know the answer to that?
Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Laurice was doing when he witnessed this event. He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and waited, and finally he laid down. I'm well, just got done streaming not too long ago, just slid into bed. Had to say hi. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. You go get some rest, and I hope your stream went well. From what I saw, it seemed like it was going alright. There's the lightning. But then lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Laurice must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did.
He was lying on his back. I can't see how it relates.
But it does, Your Honor. That's the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down.
Ah!
Ugh, no way.
Laurie Stoneham witnessed the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down.
Yeah!
It was solid, thanks. Hope yours continues to flourish. Thank you. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Also, if you haven't already, please, at your convenience and leisure, go check out BMO. He is a delightful guy. His streams are awesome, and he's just a really great guy all around. Go and check him out sometime. He got that good. That good quality content.
So then, this sketch should actually...
I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Laurie Stonem's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. Finally! The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge. It was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum.
Ridiculous. Order, order, order.
All the things to say. A pendulum. Bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And a pendulum was the only way to get it done.
Objection!
Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you'd need a rope at least 10 yards long. Get a rope that long, you'd have to plan ahead. Not necessarily if you use one of the suspension wires. The lightning strike that night can only have been an accident, so it doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them.
What?
I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there.
In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum?
Well, obviously. Look at this photograph. It's got the freaking rope hanging from the bridge.
And the meaning of this is?
You want to know where the rope came from? It's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard.
Ah! This is one of the wires from the bridge.
When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around Elise Stonehim's body. Whoop! They got lucky and it hung on long enough to get over there, because there was simply no other way to move the body. Ha! Oh, buddy.
Mr. Godot? It seems that Mr. Godot was more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of a rope being readily available were very high, so I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all.
Objection!
Possible or impossible, that's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? Trite, I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence the body was swung over like a pendulum? Yes. Yes, I do. I have a couple of things I could show you, probably. So we've got the sphere that was, on her staff, which was found, diagonal crosswise from the suspension bridge. Or we can go with the probably more obvious autopsy report. When she comes off the pendulum, the body drops. And she was already dead by that point. So I feel like I could go either way on this. I'm gonna go with the autopsy report. Actually, no, I used the autopsy report earlier. I want to try the sphere. And if I need to, if it penalizes me and I need to use the autopsy report, that's fine. But I feel like it'll work. Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see it's the one that was in front of the inner temple.
So then, that was the spot where the criminal...
Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point here, it would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point.
Did you say drop?
Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank.
What? What makes you think something like that happened?
Because I have evidence that suggests her body dropped some distance.
What kind of evidence?
Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death.
10 feet, huh?
That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. Body overswung due to the forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose.
That's...
Yes, this bloodstained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off Miss Elise Donim's staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found.
Indeed. I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal was found... Ah!
Precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. Pretty sure Larry was also the one who found that. Fucking Larry finally proving to be useful somehow.
This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with a way the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive.
That! Oh no!
Mr. Wright!
I thought this cold coffee might help cool you down.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot?
That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, trite. But you forgot about one thing.
Oh, and what would that be?
The aroma.
Huh?
Coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma.
Rest of the court doesn't speak Caffanese. Can you elaborate a bit more?
If the criminal had sent the body to the other side like you say, then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it.
An accomplice?
The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge. So, who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, trite?
I think I have an idea.
Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do.
Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice.
Very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body on the Hazakura Temple side?
I hate to say it, but it must have been Iris. Because she was the only one with the snowmobile key, and there are the snowmobile tracks that go back to the temple. And her, or somebody who looks like her, was the one who was fucking about with the body. I mean, she's saying as much, but that's beside the point. It can only be you, Sister Iris.
Huh? Ah! But I
I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it.
Objection.
Right, were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in the inner temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath.
Objection.
I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim.
Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time.
Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony?
Mention what?
The pendulum, of course. Using this sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved using the burnt-out bridge. Which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known.
No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum.
But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help. So you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with.
What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright?
What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying this witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple?
Objection.
Are you serious, Trite? You mean this woman is?
There's no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing there at the witness stand, her real name is... Can only be one person. But we're gonna have to throw the book at that after the ad break. We will be back in just a moment.
Evil laugh.
We're back. Also, I will not apologize, Nova, because the timing was just too perfect. I couldn't not do that. I will also apologize to the rest of chat, but Nova was the only one who said, "Oh, Barista, you're evil." Yes. Yes, I am. Anyway, the person who's on the stand, her real name is Dahlia Hawthorne. Never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Hawthorne.
Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless.
Ha, it's just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh yes, I remember now. That case, 5 years ago.
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor is all mine!
No, the honor is all mine. But according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month.
So what? Death has no meaning in this courtroom.
What? Order, order, order!
Wait a moment. How can you... My sister... She's already dead. What kind of...
Objection!
You of all people should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of the Korean channeling technique flows within that body. Phoenix.
The Korean channeling technique. Now where have I heard that?
That's right. You're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was? Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes.
Objection!
We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens?
Objection!
Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written here in these instructions.
Ah, what's that?
I know, paper! Reading! Very scary. These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple. Two of them. Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 p.m. However, Iris was seen before dinner time.
That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris.
And the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely, one Dahlia Hawthorne.
Objection!
You even know what you're saying, Trite? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris. What? Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, the Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike.
Zoop. It was later that the body was moved by pendulum. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that the iris that received the body was the real iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall. There, they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center. Not quite. Yes, I suppose. Can't deny any of that.
Thank goodness. It looks like he's finally convinced.
But something still seems off. Way off. I'm still not convinced that the iris here is the same one from the other night. Ha! I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous? Like the real iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switched places? Yes.
Switched places. To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand. But I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial.
Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere.
Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne?
There was. Tasumaro says this is one of the best cases. I would agree with that. We do know for a fact that there was a chance that they could have switched. Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance.
Oh, explain yourself.
Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown.
Unknown? What do you mean?
What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move freely, unsupervised.
Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that?
I'm sorry. I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. The person who gave Iris the chance to freely move about was, not intentionally, was Edgeworth.
This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it?
Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not?
An earthquake?
Earthquake! Oh my goodness, the inner temple! This kind of tremor might...
How could I have? She fled. She escaped. We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne.
That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now see here. No judge in his right mind would consider the idea of spirit channeling and...
Be quiet. There she is. It's been a long time, Mr. Judge.
That voice.
Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
Dahlia Hawthorne. And my current profession? Permanently retired.
Okay, that's funny. Yeah, that's one way to put it, I suppose.
Permanently retired.
God. Sure, Dahlia, if that's how you want to say it.
Ha! So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh?
Why should I? After all, I'm dead. And there's really nothing you can do to punish me.
What is going on here?
Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again. And I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time, I'll end it. For her and for myself.
To be continued.
Let's save our progress. And I think, in fact, this is where we're gonna call it for the night. Like, obviously, I know, the action's ramping up, everything's getting real exciting real fast. But, see, that's the thing. I feel like we should save some of the excitement. You see, Barista has this little thing. It's called work. Yes, that too, Nova. That too. Well, not even that too. That's about it. See, the thing is, like Nova says, I have work tomorrow. And I need to, I guess I don't need to, but I probably should go and, adequately rest myself beforehand. But see, the thing is, when we do this again on Monday, I don't have to work until, like, evening time. So, I can keep going for a while. If I want to. And if I'm able to. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can definitely hear it in myself and feel like I'm getting a little scratchy. Little, I don't want to say overworked, but I've definitely put in the effort today. Eepy, you're Eepy. I am not Eepy. But I know if I keep at it, I will get Eepy. So that is also why we're going to stop. Because we have more... Frankly, we just have more time on Monday to see how this next trial segment's gonna go. And if it goes well and we're gonna continue on, we will do that. And if not, we'll wrap everything up next Thursday. The final point being, we're almost there. We've almost made it to the end. Like, there's not much further to go. 1 or 2 more streams and we are done with the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. Excuse me. And for those of you who may not know already, either way, next week is the end. Which day will be TBD exactly. And the plan is, I do fully intend to continue the Ace Attorney series, because I think it will be extra funny and extra fun. I plan to start up the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy later next month, in April. Because, canonically, on the timeline of Ace Attorney events, the events of that game start on Monday, April 20th, 2026. Unfortunately, I will be out of town that weekend, so I will not actually be home and able to start the case on that day as I originally kind of wanted to. But we will instead start it as close as we can. So I don't know if, like, that Tuesday or Wednesday or whenever I stream next is going to be the start of it, or if I will just wait until Thursday the 23rd. Either way, the timing's going to be very close, and it's going to be funny. I'm going to get a kick out of it, at any rate. But that's next month.
And now, let's figure out where we're gonna go. Figure out where we're just gonna go and hang out and do whatever it is that we're gonna do for the rest of the night. Let me see. Let me look. Look with my barista eye. Thank you for the wonderful stream. Aw, well, thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. And thanks again to Riri and Paladin Rat for their raids. Always nice to have lots of fun people stop by and hang out. What? Let's go. Let me. Thinking is hard. Listen, I just like blew up my brain because my theory finally fucking came to fruition, and I'm really fucking thrilled about that. And now that it has, it's just like no thoughts, head empty. Just we're just here. Yeah, why not? We are going to go. Helps if I'm actually tabbed into my chat box so I can type out what I want to type. Let me just triple check this real quick. Alrighty, to be in order. We are going to go raid out to Neapolitan Rhyme. Nia is in the middle of a subathon. Right now she is playing Slay the Spire, which I've heard lots of good things about, so I'm curious to check it out myself. That was a fun time. Well, thank you, Tasumaru. I appreciate you coming by. Appreciate you hanging out. So, like I said, we will be back at this on Monday. Same-ish time, starting anywhere between 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Probably closer to 11, just so we can have, you know, more time for whatever this case is gonna keep throwing at us. And that's really all I've got for now. I don't know what our variety days are gonna be next week. I never really figure it out until the day of, and then I just decide what I want to do. So until next time, go and give all the love to Nia. Take your meds, drink some water, eat good food, and get some rest.